like, where did the term cheat meal even come from?
So it really is one of those things where people are like, I want to be so strict all week, for example, but then you need a break, right? So they're like, I'm going to have a cheat meal on Sunday. So you have something to look forward to, which in theory makes sense. But the problem I've run into with a lot of clients, if they have a cheat meal, it's the mindset, right? So the cheat meal tends to be overblown. The cheat meal can turn into a cheat day. Then if you've been dieting forever, you beat yourself up over it. So then you're more strict on Monday. And then the cycle is strict. And it's like demonizing foods. So over in the bigger picture, I think people should eat a variety of foods and nothing really is off limits. Like obviously there's better foods than others. But if you really want something, have it. But don't just restrict it to this day because people can really blow it and go off the rails and then they're mad at themselves and it's this whole cycle, right? So I believe more in like the 80-20 rule. So 80% of the time, eat super clean foods that are good for your body. And then 20% of the time, if you want to have a little something here and there, it's not really going to hurt you that much, right?
Perfect. So it's interesting because you used a couple words there that really interest me to dive into. One of them is restriction. So I personally think as soon as we're restricting ourselves, we're screwing with our mindset. And so one of the things about Jen that I noticed across her menu, and I want to talk to you about this, Jen, is she does have sweet, she does have savory, she does have snacks. And so I guess I struggle with that word cheat personally, and so many people do. And what Megan and I have been putting out for years and years and years, not as nutritionists, but as marketing, is we're trying to market the kind food plate, which is know what you're eating, why you're eating it, and feel good about it. So trace it back to where it came from and really, really, really like that's the deal. And then it's 100% of the time. That doesn't mean there's perfection. There's all shades of gray, right? But I can eat chocolate for breakfast, can't I, Stacey?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, chocolate, I mean, has been demonized, but actually chocolate in its pure form is quite healthy.
Right. So we write lessons in empathy economics that not all chocolate's being created equal. So Jen, you just have to describe like one of your chocolate desserts that I could actually eat for breakfast and why.
Yeah, I totally I totally agree with Stacey and what you guys are saying. I feel that even being in this industry, we can kind of be labeled as well because we make such sort of clean food. But I believe that you can eat, I like to think of it almost as a, how the Europeans eat. They pretty much eat everything, but they eat very clean and real ingredients. So we believe in making, whole foods, using whole food ingredients, using alternative sugars besides just white processed sugars, and making things taste good by using different fruits or different sweeteners like coconut nectar or yacon, or using fruit as a sweetener, but not missing out on any taste. Because I can recall when I first started, people were a little like, oh, what is this girl making? What kind of food is this? They just kind of stereotype that you're going to be eating, when you say you're eating whole foods, or you're just basically eating like, just completely raw fruit, carrots, celery, that there's no real taste to things. But I think once people discover the palette of just using really whole foods and alternative, ingredients like cacao nibs to make your chocolate instead of using processed chocolate with white sugar, they'd be surprised. So for instance, we'll make an avocado pudding with cacao nibs or ground cacao. We'll sweeten with yacon nectar, which is really good for your a prebiotic, or dates, which is a fruit. And I think people are pleasantly surprised that they're not missing the real white sugar or things that they thought that they wouldn't miss, right?